Yeah, I have skylights, a lot of them in my house, so it makes it like you're doing disco. It was like strobe light. I didn't see.
Okay, I'd like to call the Village of Wolverine Lake Parks and Rec Board to order. Pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Schwartz.
Here.
Kane.
Here.
Longbright.
Here.
Jeremini.
Here.
Linman.
Here.
Mock.
Here.
Kirkhoff.
Here.
Ingram.
Here.
Can I get a motion to approve the agenda with the,
Were we going to add the item?
yeah, I said, I was going to add with
Oh, okay,
additions.
sorry.
Approve it
Add with the,
for the agenda.
As amended.
add with the, we're gonna add several of the
Cotton candy machine. I kept thinking
Which
snow
one?
cone.
I know, that's what I kept going to. And then I also have one with the, we'll just put under B, New Business B, concert in the park. So,
Even wrote now, I'm writing snow cone.
right.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I'll second the motion to
All in
approve the agenda
favor?
as amended.
Approval of minutes, A, for the regular meeting on May 20th, 24.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approval of minutes from the May 13th work session.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I have no chairperson communication to the board. Seeing that there is no public, we will skip that. New business, A, cotton candy machine.
Oh,
You thought I was going to say something?
Yeah, I thought someone else was going to talk. After going through the storage room, there were items that we no longer used, and so we've talked about getting rid of the cotton candy machine because we never used it because it wasn't easy to operate, nor was it easy to clean up after. So we drafted a request to the board and to give us permission to either somehow repurpose it, either reselling it or donating it to another organization. So it needs to be submitted to Dave with photos of the machine.
Do we need a motion?
Yeah, motion to sell or donate the cotton candy machine.
Second.
Can I get a second? Oh, you said second. Sorry.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Another fire truck, or the timers just went by. B, concert in the park.
So I got contacted today. I don't know if any of you guys have seen the Cure to concerts that were done at Mallow Beach the last couple of years to benefit childhood cancer research. Well, the band Almost Famous is looking for a new venue because apparently things are not going to be able to be done at Mallow Beach this year. And they were wondering if they can do it at Claire Miller. And I was thinking, I don't think it'd be an issue, but I said I'd bring it to the board, and then I'll talk to Dave Gillum when he's back in town. He's on vacation this week, which deserved. But I didn't foresee there being any major issues other than making sure that the hours are appropriate and everything else. And they said, whatever hours you want us to stop, we'll stop, kind of thing, so that it
They
doesn't bother
usually
the
do it
residents.
late, right?
It's usually in the evening,
Yeah.
but, you know, I think it was 7 o'clock, but we don't want it to run outside of park hours either, so half hour after dusk kind of thing. Granted, it's August is when you're looking to do it, and the day's pretty long. But I said I think that we could probably work that out, and this would be a fundraiser. They raised almost $10,000 last year, so I said I think we can make it happen. But we just have to make sure we check everything off and make it work out.
So do they have a date?
No, they do not. I think they were kind of wondering what we were thinking too.
So would we help run it, or we're just asking if they can use the park, or did they want
They
the
were
park
just
and Rec
asking, they
facility?
were really just asking if they can use the park. Obviously, I think they'd like to have some access to the electrical. I mean, they brought generators in before for when they did it at Mallow, but obviously we have the electrical there, and we know it can support music because we've had live music before. Obviously, they use the bathrooms and everything else. That's just general park access. But really, it was just a matter of are we comfortable with them having a concert that's a fundraiser? And I know monies have been raised in the park before. The group that did the Peace Bowl in the park, when they did their celebration, they raised money, they had a 50-50 and all that kind of stuff, so it's perfectly acceptable to do. Biggest concern I would have, of course, is with this is the noise level. But obviously, if they were willing to respect that stuff, then time.
Maybe as members, some of us could help out and
Sure.
with a donation and maybe sell popcorn, snow cones, water, make it a
Well, I
concession
know
stand.
they sold food on their own previously,
Oh,
so I'm
okay.
not sure if they would take that on again.
Oh, okay.
That would take some working out with them to see, and yeah, but we could do it as possibly as a partnership to support it. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure that if anybody had any concerns or any ideas before I run it up the
I
flag.
mean, I can hear it from my house, but I'm closer to Mill Beach. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
people can probably hear it from their house now, so.
Well, yeah, any live music you're going to be able to hear pretty easily from quite a distance away. So we
You just
certainly want to
respect
keep.
the hours of the park.
Yeah.
I think it should be fine.
Yeah.
Because, there's noise there. That's the way it is.
Yeah.
Wait till pickleball goes in.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought that would be a pretty good thing to do, and it'd be a nice way to use the park for a good cause. And as long as it's not a regular thing and everything else, I think it could work out.
So it's something you just take to Dave and then.
Yeah, I'll let Dave know and see if there's any concerns that he has, but I want to make sure that we didn't have any concerns or anything like that. And obviously, we don't know what condition the park will be in at that time, so there is some questions there. But we'll see. Those are things we can't control. But it's an open space, it's open to the public, and people can have done a lot of different things there, and most of them weren't going to raise money for cancer research, so this is at least something positive and good press and all that kind of stuff too, so.
So you'd probably have to find out too, like parking, we might have to, I mean, if we
Well, I mean,
go forward with that.
We've got pretty good, we have a pretty good-sized parking lot. In the past, we've used the grass and opened it up for the public to use the grass. So that's a possibility. I think the big question is, what would they need from us in getting that cleared up? Do they want to use beyond, like I said, the pavilion, the electrical, the bathrooms, and all that normal stuff? Is there additional things that they would want? Because then it gets a little more interesting. But if it's straight up they want to do it, then I don't think there'd be a problem. I mean, a lot of municipalities put on concerts. Commerce has several scheduled, so does Wixom. And they've always had great success with them. So, yeah, I think we can do it. And we've talked about doing concerts in the past. It's just always been a step more than we kind of wanted to take on, I think. But yeah, so I'll let them know that we're comfortable with it, but we'll have to, cross some T's, dot some lowercase j's and all that kind of stuff, and make sure that we have a good understanding with them. But it was a fun event. I've gone to at least, I know I went to the first one. So.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to watch from your boat.
Yeah, that was cool. So that, yeah, unfortunately, we went out and upland out the barge for him to play on, and that was pretty cool. But for whatever reason, we can't do it there this year. So we'll make it work with us. So I guess people could still bring their boat, they just have to put it on a trailer and tow it. And it would be quite the same effect, wouldn't it? It'd be like the biggest redneck.
Get a bunch of kids
fest.
schools.
I think we'll stick with
There is a thing
bring
there,
lawn
where, like
chairs.
they have parties and adults bring their own food.
We'll encourage people to bring lawn chairs instead. But yeah. And of course, alcohol is permitted, just as long as it's not in a glass bottle. So if people want to have fun, they're more than welcome to. So yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Continuing business, 5K, and no Diane's not here. Did it go okay?
We survived.
Had some rain.
Yeah.
Oh,
A
yeah.
couple people got lost.
Oh,
Yeah.
And they ran the circle twice, apparently. You're
I missed the
Gilmore Willis.
sign.
Oh,
The
yeah.
paths.
But I think we found them all. I don't think anybody's still out there wandering around, so I think we're good there. But yeah, the rain was a little annoying, but that happens. But the runners didn't mind, and the bubble run went well. So, yeah. So we had quite a few signups the day of. So that was good.
Tuesdays in the park.
Well, we're all set for tomorrow night. I've ordered the supplies we need, and I just need to get the ice tomorrow and one more large syrup thing that we're low on. Other than that, everything else has already been ordered. So we're all set. I'll be there by 5 o'clock. It's supposed to be from 5:30 to 7:30. And
it's going to be hot.
Yeah, I was wondering, should we put water in the
And
So
freezer?
I plugged in the freezer today, and it turned right on. So the problem was nobody checked the GFI, and that had tripped, and that's why the freezer wasn't working.
Oh, that'll do it.
A room full of electricians, clearly. And how many members of Parks and Rec does it take to screw in a light bulb kind of thing? But it was working fine, so it should be nice and cold tomorrow. I figured I'd get there, I'd stop by around 1 o'clock or something and put a couple cases of water in the freezer so they can get cold by the time.
are we going to need to buy some? I can't, how much?
We got quite a bit of water in there.
thought
We
we-
had water left over from
5K?
IK, from the water boards event. They left a case of water as well, so we
Honey
have quite a
lunch.
bit. Yeah, we have.
There's a lot of
Okay,
water in
all
there.
right. Well, I just want to make sure, otherwise I pick some up. But, we're good to
The
go.
only thing that we might need more of sooner than later is paper towels, they look like. think we're down
I can
about
pick
3
those up
rolls,
tomorrow if you
so-
want. I can get those because I
Unless
gotta
I
go
missed
to,
them, but.
I gotta go to Gordon's anyways to get the
Okay.
syrup, so I can pick them up tomorrow if you'd like.
That'd be great.
Is everybody planning on being there?
I'll be there a little bit around 5:30, but I plan on.
That's fine. Good,
All right,
because
cool.
it's
But what is the event?
Now, tomorrow is,
I could have looked at.
it's the inflatable bungee run, a slide, a wacky coliseum. They're basically inflatables.
Okay.
They're inflatables.
Because I didn't know, but I guess we wouldn't want them to get wet, like if we brought a sprinkler with the hose. I just don't know how hot it's going to be, but
No,
we don't want them wet in the...
We filled.
There were socks in there last year, a fair
There
amount, and there
is,
still
there's
is.
bags sitting right on top of a bin. 'cause
Okay,
it's
yeah,
like-
we had it together with all my stuff that we had for Tuesday in the Park, so I assume it's still there. Okay.
Just looking at me.
I mean, you're the one who can organize it on.
I am, but I'm not quite sure what Tuesday in the Parks is. It's kind of like below.
The syrups.
It was
Right,
the
but I meant as far
yeah.
as the events. I did
Yeah.
see the socks, but there's games and everything, right? That's-
Yeah, we put out, we'll put out
And
some of the
kids
games.
stuff. Yeah, so yes,
so-
it's all there.
And,
So thank you, I appreciate it. Just want to make sure, because otherwise I have to purchase some, because some, every once in a while, someone will forget socks.
Yeah, there's a
So, that's it.
The orthodontists group company, or Standing Orthodox will be coming again, they emailed.
And did you see the book guy?
And the children's author, Jeff, he'll be coming out too, so for sure, those two are confirmed. But yeah, we should probably release funds for next calendar year, or fiscal year, I should say.
Do you remember how much ice is in there? Because I'm obviously...
0.
Zero, okay, I'll buy two large ones, because it's obviously gonna, because of
That was the
the
big loss,
switch,
was all
the
the
big
ice.
loss. Because obviously, I think it will be a high demand tomorrow for the start.
Always.
Yes, I have a feeling I'll make the
So I'll get
popcorn and be
2 large
miserable
bags.
and give out about 2 bags. 'Cause it'll be so hot, but it'll happen. So yeah, I'd recommend we release funds for the upcoming calendar year, or fiscal year,
For
for Tuesdays in the Park, yeah. Because we have funds available for this year still, through July, through June. So we're fine there, but then for the July and August one.
Okay.
So a motion to release budgeted funds for Tuesdays in the Park.
Second.
Oh, sorry, all in favor, roll call, please.
Jeremy,
Yes.
Ingram,
Yes.
Lemon,
Yes.
Mock,
Yes.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
Carrico,
Yes.
Mockridge.
Yes. Dog show.
That's us.
You're on.
Okay, so I feel like everything's like moving forward Me and Linda met Sunday, did kind of some logistics. We got all the prizes, we have all the trophies, we kind of mapped everything out. I'm coming up with like kind of an agenda for the day. I can email that out to everybody by like Wednesday. What else? Oh, I brought these just to show, just to hype you up. These is what like all the dogs will get when they get there.
Oh, that's awesome.
How cute.
Yeah,
How many
yeah.
entries so far?
That's the thing. We don't have a ton of entries. I'm hoping the day of people come. I feel like I'm planning a party and nobody's gonna show up. It's very anxious.
We're just proceeding like they are.
Yeah, we will.
We also know it's the fireworks for Walled Lake that day, and they're big
Well, that'll be at night.
downtown.
So,
Yeah, they're doing
Yeah,
a
that
whole
is in the
thing.
evening for sure.
They're doing
What time does it start? I mean,
11. We had planned on getting there at like 10. Maybe 9:30, I guess. I put registration starts at 10:15. Show starts at 11. We got a lot of nice donations.
Really.
Yeah, some really nice stuff. Even like a doggy life jacket, some daycare days up at the daycare. Penny Lake gave us a bunch of gift certificates to spend.
Dairy Twist.
Dairy Twist. Yeah, so we have quite the haul for the winners.
the odds are good.
Yeah.
Odds are good.
We did want to talk to Molly about concessions, just to kind of touch base again on that. And
Yep. I brought a bag to show you guys what I
Oh,
what I
that's
bought,
awesome.
because
Thank you, Mom.
some of the stuff is a little bit smaller, so I didn't know if we wanted to like pair like a small water with like
Oh,
chips
okay.
or something.
Yeah, yeah.
So first, the most exciting thing that I found are these fun cotton candy containers.
Oh, awesome. Nice.
So there's 3 different flavors of those, and then the chip bags. It's just the ones from Costco. So they're a little bit smaller. I feel like if they wanted them by itself, it's like 50 cents, but I hate saying, well, we'd need a lot of change if
Yeah.
you're doing 50 cents for things. And then the other thing was like there's like cookies or the crackers too. It's just like a variety of those. So I did the breakdown. Oh, and I got a ton of the mini waters because that's what we use for corn roast anyway. So any leftover we can just save for that.
Oh, sure.
But I was thinking maybe if we did like chips and a mini water is $1. Or, the cookies in a mini water is $1. These, each, when I broke it down, are 83 cents a piece.
Okay.
So I feel like $2 a piece is fair for cotton candy, do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That looks like a nice
hefty
size.
container.
It's a big, yeah.
Yeah, for like a sharing.
Yeah, and it
type
says
of
it's
snack.
2 servings per container,
Oh,
so.
then definitely.
And then I didn't know about, so I guess we'll probably do snow cones, I'm assuming. I just didn't know what the whole food.
Yeah, I kind of
license.
feel weird about charging for snow cones some times and not charging them at other times.
I know.
You
Well,
I mean, is
charge
that
them
how-
at
what
the
you've
corn
done?
roast.
Is
We're
that
always
what-
charged at the corn roast.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's right.
yeah. So the only
That's
time
right.
basically we don't is Tuesdays in the park.
Tuesdays in the park. And you didn't charge at the 5K?
We didn't have them.
No, we did.
Oh, yeah, we did,
I
that's
bought
right.
the ice,
No, they were
yeah.
free.
You had popcorn?
But they were
Yeah,
free.
those were-
That's right, yeah.
Okay, all right, yeah, I had forgotten about that. Okay, so when I'm making out the menu thing, it's water and choice of chips,
Chips
cookies.
or cookies.
Is there
Yeah,
anything else? Just chips or cookies
Yeah,
and
that's-
water for $1,
right.
cotton candy for $2. Okay, and what if they just wanted water alone?
I think maybe they'll get too many ones.
Two waters, okay.
Two, what are they? I brought them too, because I was like, I wanted to
think they're
show what
$8.
it's,
That's a good idea.
That's a good,
For $1.
$1 is good for those two
Okay.
things.
And then
the
the
8
snow
ounce.
cone is $1 and,
Yeah,
Yeah.
popcorn is
Snow cones,
$1.
yeah, our $1 at Corn Fest.
okay, and same with popcorn, okay, great.
And so I did buy too, because I figured if we're doing more of these like concession stand things at some of our events, I bought like a chip stand holder. I think it holds like 30 bags or something. It's like one of those that just clips them
Yeah.
on, and we can show it on the shelf there. It came to like 26 and change, so I can either return it, or if we want to keep it, I'll just
I think it's a good idea, instead of baskets and bowls and all that, you can
Right.
actually see what's left.
It'll
Yeah,
look
that's a good
professional up
idea.
there.
Yeah.
Without,
Instead of
you know-
hiding it under
It'll give them a
the
chance to pick
table.
what they want too.
Exactly, yeah.
Right. And I got the whole countertop cleared off in there, kind of, they're still mice in there. I
it
don't
was
think
in there
there's any
today.
food, but there were mice stuff all
Oh,
over the
okay, when were you in there?
Yesterday.
Okay, because I was like, boy, it's looking really clean, and I was like, oh, it's like a workout?
Well, I started on
Oh.
the countertop, waiting
okay,
for
so that's
Amanda,
why
we
it
were
was
looking at
clean.
what was in there and what we were
Okay.
using
So
and stuff.
has anything been done?
I made multiple complaints, and supposedly it's been, but I'll message again.
Yeah, I mean, if they set out traps, they're just gonna have to come check them all the time. That's the bad thing, besides poison, although
Yeah.
poison, if they kill them in there, they still smell, but anyway, I'm trying to make you space, and so, we're been talking about the 8-foot tables that we had talked about purchasing to keep in there, which I think you're gonna probably need a couple of them in that, at least one inside there to at least maneuver around and have things that you can serve
Yeah.
through the window.
Right. Some
So is now
behind,
the
maybe
time
that we
to
can
get
be-
them, or do I find somebody that just has them and we borrow them for the event? So they need like 3 of them, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
3 8-foot tables. 2 for the judges area, because there'll be 4 people sitting at the judges table, and 1 for inside concessions.
And then one for registration. Remember?
Right.
We've used picnic tables
Table
for
for
everything else, like for the 5K.
Oh, okay.
We use the picnic tables for registration and
You
all
want to
that.
bring the picnic, well, okay, you want to bring a picnic table in?
And they just, we'll do it by the pavilion there. Yeah, that's it.
You'll do what, by the pavilion?
I mean, that's where we've done the registration for the other events.
Yeah.
Where are you
we're
going to
putting up
do
a tent.
where are you going to do the actual show? At the pavilion or?
Do you want to
Yeah,
explain the layout? Go ahead and tell them the
Oh,
layout.
sure. Walking up to the Parks and Rec, building, to the right there by the larger tree, kind of in the shade where we serve the corn, we have the registration table displaying the prizes and giving everybody their name tags with their numbers, and then we're gonna have
And their goodie bag.
in their goodie bags, and that just has like a biscuit and a bandana in it. And then we're setting it up to where like you walk in from after the registration table into the pavilion as you're showing your dog. The judges will be at the farthest side of the pavilion, and we're gonna have the audience be on the outsides of the pavilion on both sides, so the owner and the dog can be able to turn around and look at the audience around them, and the judge has a clear view of what the participants are doing as well. And then we'll just have the participant walk all the way up at the end to the judge so they can get a good look at the dog, ask any questions to the owner that they have, and then we're just gonna have that person exit right out of the pavilion and then just go hang out in the audience until like the next person's called, and at the end, we'll bring them all back up again and kind of let them parade through the pavilion the same way, and then just stay in there while the judging at the end is going on, so everybody can see them. So we were thinking about pulling those picnic tables away from the pavilion on each side, so then we also are going to use flagged, banner type, marking, what would you say, the roll of banner tape to mark off so the audience stays out of the pavilion. We just think that that's a safe distance between the audience and the performers and the judges, so that's the game plan. Feel like, did I miss anything?
As I say, you could have concessions next to the registration, but then I don't know how you would do it.
Concessions are going to come out of the building.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel
Oh, I
like
thought
that's
you said
pretty
something about tables.
close.
But we'll still need a table in there, like beyond, if you've got the counter right, is what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm just saying to table
have
inside
extras.
there so you can set things out there
Tables or
instead
tables?
of.
Like digging from the ground out of a box or
Right.
something.
Right.
Yeah, I've got one of like the Costco foldables. I think I've got 2 I could bring them.
So,
Okay,
If
That's cool.
all right, that's fine.
They might be 6 foot, not
I mean, I
8,
have
but
a
that's
couple
what
of
you
them,
mean.
but
right?
Yeah, I've got
we're using one for the karaoke machine, one to bring the prizes in by the judges, and so we're gonna bring a couple too, but for those particular things are, the longer ones, so.
Right.
And then I have a friend of mine who is a equine photographer, And she's volunteered to come and take pictures of the event and the dogs. And we're going to set her up with a little backdrop, and she's going to take individual pictures with the owner with their dog and post them online as part of after the event, and allow them just to take and copy right from there if the owner wants a picture of them and their dog, so they can get them right off the website there. So
And that'll be up by the concessions.
Yeah,
We're just
that'll
going
be
to
up by
use
the
the
concession.
side of the building for that. And then,
we kind of did a volunteer, things for volunteers to do, so there'll be a list when, come find me. I'll be coordinating that, well, she's coordinating the dogs and that kind of thing, and we'll let you know how you can help out. So we're just wondering who's going to be there.
So you have me down to do registration, right?
We hadn't had anybody down for anything because you don't know who's here and who's on vacation or who's
We have to make
attending.
sure we get petty cash.
Yes, I wrote
okay.
Paige. I didn't know how you request that, so I said, hey,
I just you
Paige.
tell her I need petty cash.
That's what I did. Today I told her, so we need petty cash.
Because you need for registration and for
concessions. Got it.
And she'll ask you for how much and how you want it broken down,
Okay.
usually. And then Jen's got to usually they don't keep much on hand, so she might have to go to the bank to get it.
Okay.
So if we're going to have two spots, I mean, do we still have the old cash box? We
Yep,
can
we
use
have
one?
two.
Okay, because I knew you got the new one, the nice new
Yeah,
one.
it's in there.
So the old
So
one is
what would you like
similar
at
to the new one.
concession?
Okay.
A registration for change, just a bunch of fives, right?
Ones.
That's it.
You're going to want a bunch of
Yeah.
It
ones.
costs $5 to
It costs
register.
$5.
But
right.
for concessions
Oh,
with ones.
I'm doing two separate requests,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Oh, got
So how do you want yours?
Say
All just fives, right? Is it $25 or $50 petty cash, or just whatever we determine it to be?
It's what we determine. I don't know how much you would
Just
need.
keep it reasonable, but yeah.
Right.
I mean, we've taken out $300 before, so
Oh, I don't think, especially for registration.
I don't think it'll be
Okay.
much.
Well, because you're gonna have somebody, now speaking from the cornrows, when I have to take money,
Yeah.
it's gonna hand you a $50 bill for one dog, and then you've gotta come up with
First,
$35.
and you'll be first in line.
Oh, someone brought 100 for the 5K.
All you do
Because they
is you
thought they could
tell
use
them,
credit cards and didn't have credit cards.
just tell them the
We won't
smoke
take
shop
credit
at
cards,
the
so they had
street
100,
has
that's
an
what we
ATM.
agree.
Go get a 20.
So that, you might want to get a couple 20s just in case you get some big bill. They're not going to love you if you give them
Because
90.
even
Like $80, you think?
Pardon me?
60, $80?
for a registration?
Yeah.
40, 60.
What?
Like
Would you do
100?
100? I would do 100. Just
But like, you want 100 total, or you need 100?
Yeah, no, I'm saying 100 for registration. You don't want to be totally out with
Right,
a $50
right.
bill, so do.
Okay, mostly fives and a couple of 20s. Okay.
Because we have, and I get 10s, right? Because we always use the two together. Because when we have movie night, people come with a $20 bill, and they're like, oh, I'm paying for a family.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
gotta come up with $15, you know? So I always have smalls.
Sure.
Okay, and then concessions, what would you like to start with?
I'd say,
Do we have
well, my only question is too, what if someone comes up and says, I want 2 bags of chips, no waters? Am I getting
a,
that?
2 waters for $1, 2 chips for $1,
Yeah.
2
Okay.
cookies for $1?
Okay.
Or where is chips?
Because it's your choice, 50
So
cents.
chips each are like 28 cents. I did the breakdown, so like we're still fine. The cookies are 32 cents a piece, the waters are 11 cents a piece, so we're fine. I know we're not trying to make up
Yeah.
Right.
money
Right.
anyways, but yeah, okay, we can just say, okay, never mind, you don't need
Yeah, I
the
just think
water.
everything should be kept as the even, so we have to worry about change.
Right.
Yeah, okay, so if they don't want a water,
You get
grab
2
another chip
waters
or
or 2.
something.
Yeah.
Individually, no.
Right,
It's got to come to $1.
Yep.
so.
Making it easy.
I'm going to make it really confusing on there. 2 cookies, 2 chips. Water and a cookie, water and a chip.
I don't know how
I would
much
just
we
put
want.
2 items,
Yeah.
except
For
for
$1.
cotton candy.
2 items for $1, your choice.
Yeah.
Cotton candy and
Cotton
$2.
candy. Yeah.
I'll do 100 as well.
Okay.
How about we do 51s, just because if someone hands me a 5 and they only spend $1, I can see those going quickly. Maybe 30 and 5s and then 2 10s. I think that's good.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Are you guys providing any kind of water bowls for the dogs?
Yes, we have a water station that'll be set up in the shade under a tree with a sign that says, here's the water station. Volunteer's going to man that, keep it full of water. Any volunteers?
Well, be in concessions with Molly.
Oh, my, your choice, okay.
So I think we should have 2 at registration because of some, it just depends on
Yeah,
how
we
busy
thought
you
2,
are.
I wrote down 2
Yeah.
for registration as well.
Anybody else want to do registration?
Sure, I'll do it. I know I'll be there,
Right on.
but yeah, if you want someone down on paper, I can do that.
And I'm hoping that she'll give us her form with those on it, and then we'll have blanks below it to
That's
fill
usually
in.
how she
Fill
does
in
it, yeah.
20
They'll be
more.
transferred to the judge's ballot unless we figure out a way to register on the judge's ballot.
Not unless we had it with us.
Yeah, okay. Okay. All right.
Alright, so anything else? I feel like that's pretty much it.
Should be fun.
But yeah, I'm
Tell your
excited to
neighbors.
do it. I'm just hoping that we like have some people. And we're just gonna be like hanging out with 5 dogs.
And a bunch of snacks.
Yeah.
How bad could it be?
They're gonna get like 30
That's awesome.
biscuits apiece.
That's it.
Yep, that's it. That's it.
Any questions?
Bring some flyers tomorrow to Tuesdays in the park.
Okay. I only have like 4 more.
Okay, I'll do
You just even put them up on the posts so people
Yeah,
can see
yeah.
them when they're,
Yeah, just at least make a sign.
For sure.
Okay.
Summer garage sale, it's hot on your agenda, right?
yep.
Fishing contest.
It is time, so I will get in touch here with Ted by the end of the week, and we will get started on negotiating prizes and so on. We'll probably double check categories again, just to make sure we like the categories. We did like them how they were last year, so I'm sure nothing will change. We don't need to release funds just yet. Probably we'll just release them in July, I'm thinking. And then, yeah, we'll start advertising in July, and that is it. So,
Corn roast.
No updates. I don't, maybe we should schedule our July meeting?
I'm just gonna write that down as a note, pass it to Mark.
What date is for July? We're thinking of putting our meeting and the corn roast meeting together.
If we can.
Well, what date are we looking at?
So our normal meeting is scheduled for the 15th. I'm gone that whole week. I'm wondering if we can switch to a date that works for everyone and we'll just do a joint Parks and Rec meeting and corn roast. I guess let's start with the week of the 22nd. Who's
I'm here.
July 22nd works, if you want to, yeah.
good.
that Monday, the 22nd? Can we just
23rd,
switch?
we can't. We have an
We
on-up
have
meeting.
on and up on 23rd, but we can do
So,
22nd
Monday.
at the park.
Okay.
And we can, what we'll do is we'll just have that as we'll call it a special meeting, so that we can, as opposed to a work session, and that way we can release funds if needed and things like that. We can do it at the park, it's open to the public still, accessible, and then we don't have to have 2 meetings 2 weeks in a row, which would be kind of nice.
And it's the normal time, 7?
Yeah.
That works.
And we're meeting, where do we want to meet? In here or
Let's get at the park.
Claremont?
Especially because by then, we should have some stuff done, or some work should have been done, on at least some part of it.
Okay.
So we can look at that too.
And so is it all one big meeting or do we do
Yes.
like 2 separate, like?
Just do
okay.
one big old
Okay.
meeting.
So do we have to do a motion or anything, or just Paige needs to update?
Well, I mean, a motion makes it very distinctive in the minutes, so it's not a bad idea just to, so I'll motion that we schedule a special meeting for July 22nd and cancel the regularly scheduled July 15th meeting for for the upcoming month.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. And you did say 7, it's a regular time, right?
7 p.m.
yeah,
on the
very much.
22nd.
The meeting will be at Claire Miller Park. Weather permitting.
Yeah.
Holiday decorating contest, did you have anything?
Oh, by the way, just, for the corn roast, I did we did do the deposit for the band and everything, so that's been done.
And the pony, they have the deposit too, I confirmed with them.
And we did talk to,
Penny Lake.
thank you. So
They were
they're
all
good to go.
set. The owner is the one that I actually worked with last year, and I didn't even realize it. So he already was familiar kind of with what we're doing, so made it easy.
Yeah.
Decorate contest.
I have nothing.
Snacks with Santa, Diane's not here. Letters to Santa, Diane's not here. Any new and additional events that did somebody just come up with that we want to do?
I have a big one.
Oh, I thought you was joking.
I've never seen something so ominous.
Because I don't know if it's like too outlandish, and I don't want to go off as like extra. I don't know. Oh, and I have no reference, so I can only ask. And I feel like it probably would take a couple years. But why can't we get that damn boat back and put it in
Oh,
the water again?
You're talking about the showboat?
The princess
Yes.
thingy-mabob?
Is it because we lost money? I thought one day
No,
they
it
couldn't
wasn't.
use it.
It was more of a. It was part of it was just the dramatic workload. From what I understand,
Yeah.
I was never involved with it. It was a extremely large project to do. It was not a park and rec event.
So who does do it? Who was in
So it
charge?
was Mike Stack who was putting in like 30 hours a week to get that thing done, kind of thing.
And how do I
So-
get a hold of him to like pick his
So,
brain? And like,
There are a few people you can talk to, and I'll email you those names
Okay.
and things like that. Other problems were where to put it, because it sits in the water.
Yeah, yeah.
So my neighbor Ron actually let it sit in front of his house a little bit, because it's so big, it can't just sit in front of the DNR section
Yeah,
either.
yeah.
And then other issues were it would run ashore, or it would ground in certain spots, because one time somebody said, hey, take it through the canal apparently.
Yeah, I was on that one. That didn't go well.
And that went really
They
bad.
sucked a bunch of muck and mud up into
Why
it.
would that? Well, that
You
is.
can't fix stupid, so that's
Yeah.
part of the problem there.
That didn't
But,
go well.
I mean, yeah, it's been, I don't know what it would require, I don't know what the cost requirements are. I know it was costly,
Fair.
and I don't think it was profitable, if I recall.
Was it
but-
onwards and was it to
I
raise
think
money
it
for the
may, I don't know
fireworks?
who, I don't know, I think, it may have been, but I would have to look at the books again, and I don't remember seeing big checks for that. But I think it was a village event in itself, but I think it was probably like a shared goal kind of thing, partnership to work on it. But, yeah, you're right. I mean, yeah, it's definitely not something that would happen like this year.
No, I'd say like a
But
couple
if
years, you know?
Yeah, you gotta start getting the wheels kind of just turning a little bit
Exactly.
on it to even see if it's really possible. But yeah, it's, I mean, I know local village bands played in it and stuff like that too, and they had like all kinds of different themed events. And I know it's been popular, but I think we would need beyond our board kind of people to say, okay, that's the one thing I'll do.
Yeah.
And then
Like a committee.
quit their job and just do that kind of thing.
Oh my
But,
God.
And a company like the fireworks company who comes in and does it all, and
Yeah, like a turnkey kind of thing, but there's just, it's a lot to, it seems like there's a lot of logistics involved. But I'll see, yeah, I'll email some of the people that I know were at least a little more aware of what was going on back then. with
Yeah,
it.
I would love to like
see.
have some coffee or some beer or with them just to pick their brain. Because the pictures that people post are amazing. And like my friend Heather's like grandparents lived here during one of the years that there was happening. And Heather's mom has like all these pictures she sent me of it. And I was like, oh my gosh, nobody does this. This is cool. Let's do this. She was saying like the pirates and mermaids for the kids and
There was like
casino
a-
night.
Yeah, there was, and there was a woman's
night.
ladies' night. I know some people rented it out privately for their own parties.
The Mardi Gras night, we did the Mardi Gras.
Oh, did there? I didn't know.
They said that like Benstein Grill came or something and cooked or
Benstein
some
Grill was-
type of.
I don't think Benson's Grill's around then.
No,
Was
what
it
was it,
the-
like 2012-ish?
Oh, who was it before? I don't remember who it was before.
I don't know, but
remember
they said
that.
that they had some type of restaurant
Oh, yeah,
come.
but I don't know.
I
It was around 2012.
Well, the thing that we do, if the village paid for anything, then they have the receipts.
Yeah.
So we can talk with upstairs, and there's probably a folder somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's how I learned some things about old events that the village
Oh,
did
cool,
and what
cool.
was done. So there should be stuff there. And then there might be stuff that the Historical Society Committee had put together, I'm guessing. I could check and see if anybody remembers any of that.
Because I remember
got
it being
together.
here one time when I was little. We didn't ride on the boat,
Okay.
but they showed movies or something to do with the village. That's all I can remember.
Okay,
It's just a
okay.
vague memory.
Sure.
Well, there was the
No,
guy.
still.
There was the guy on the lake who used to do the movies, and that's been gone for
But
a while.
I remember the boat being there, like we
Yeah.
were sitting at the DNR
Okay.
site and the boat being there, but that's all I can remember.
How many times do you think they've done it? Was it twice?
I think it was at least a
2
couple.
years in
It
a
was at least a
row.
couple of years. I remember because I would walk
Yeah.
down to the lake and I'd see this giant thing. And I'd be like, oh,
What?
guess that's
They
going on.
might have
And the
did it
first year it sold out like crazy. The second
Yeah.
year they were having a hard time on some of the events getting
Yeah,
enough people
I
to
think
sign
that's
up.
part of it too. Is like, you've done it once and maybe you go
Reset.
with it or whatever, and it's you gotta.
We could
break
do it every
evens
5
and-
years though, or every 4
Yeah,
years.
but I
to
think
keep the hype,
I
you
think
know?
you're right though. It's been probably almost a decade.
Yeah.
So if you brought it back now, you probably get a big surge of interest, at least for a year, and then try to work out something where it's every 3 years or every 5
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
And so that way it's right. It's at least some kind of routine. It doesn't kind of rust and get a little unused.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I think about at night. I just wanted to do that. It looks so fun.
You know you're stuck in the park and rec system when you start thinking about it at the middle of the night.
So yeah, that was what I wanted to ask about.
Pending business, Veterans Memorial.
We met on Friday in the
Yeah.
park near the memorial. Wasn't a ton of stuff to do, but Ron we were talking about watering and things like that, and then Ron has an idea for creating a structure that we can put at the back end of the memorial as you're facing behind the dog, so that we can hang things upon it, like wreaths and other things that are more thematic, because we do not have a good center piece that there's nothing to attach it to. So he's going to be talking to some guy who can do like welding and steel work, because he wants to make it rock solid, and see what that would look like, and options and ideas of what we could do with that. And it would be, especially for certain holidays and days of remembrance and things, we could do things with that. And we do have a bulletin board. We haven't put it up yet, so that'll be exciting. And we're finally we have a little new collection box for to get the flyers and stuff. So we'll finally get rid of the old nasty ones that have been sitting out there for 8 years and have taken way too much abuse and are for real estate. So they've definitely served their purpose, and so it'll be a little nicer on that. But it looks good. Plants looking strong. So.
The bulletin board going to have posted in it?
Information about the memorial. We're going to do thematic things, so we'll have poems of signifying significant events in history of military events and things like that. So one of the big ones recently, because one of our members went to England, was in talking about the poppies and things like that that are obviously really big in England. But the poem about the fields of Flanders and things like that will be maybe one we would put up, and then maybe the one about there's one that when you do the dedication of the memorial, there's a poem about the flag itself, and that would be one we might put up for a time. So we would have various things that would go up on there, plus just general information and how to get involved and all those kinds of things as well. Because we've it's been something we've wanted for a long time.
I mean, I know I wasn't at the meeting. Would we, in that bulletin boards, I'm thinking, when you buy a brick, do you get some kind of picture or something that tells you where your brick is in the scheme of that?
Oh, like putting out a, no, we don't have, Ron's offered to do a diagram, but it's kind of, I think because we've slowed down on the number of bricks we put in, whenever we do put the bricks in, I just tell them where I put it, and then they can go find it. So I usually know it's like in this quadrant here, and so they have, it's worked out, bless you. But we could certainly, I mean, then we'd have to assign like a number or something like that, I think.
Were there any trees going to be added?
There's just, that's more of a talking to Dave Gillen thing.
Oh, okay.
But they're doing a couple of trees in the garden club. And then somebody to honor, to recognize a neighbor that passed away. And they're probably, and Ron was kind of looking at ideas of where to put them and all that, of course, because he has a better understanding. Yeah, that's about it.
Anything out at Amelia Park?
Nope, drove by there last week. Still there.
Still there?
So, yeah.
The flowers okay there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Try to come up with something. Yeah. Clara Millett Playground equipment.
So we just got this in the last week, in the last handful of days. Our prime professional, Jason McDonald, has been notified that our grant coordinator has approved the award of the contract for the project to Michigan Recreational Construction. So Jason's working with our village engineer's office to finalize the contract and the grant documents for execution so that then they can actually get to work, because they have not been able to touch anything until the DNR approved it. So now that that's all done, hopefully we'll be able to get on their schedule and ground will be broken and things will happen. And if you walk by they've been there for several months now, but over by the DPW garage and things is the equipment already. It's been delivered, all packaged up in plastic, but it's there.
Nothing new on the tennis courts.
Actually, there's a whole bunch of them. So
There's a lot of good news coming
we've
here.
been working on that, and I've been emailing with our engineers. So this is the new, bless you, the new design. I've only got two of these. I stole them from the other council members. This orientation?
This is the
So,
pickleball courts.
so for the new blacktop, we are going to do the pickleball courts, where we were talking about those two half courts. So we will be doing that. There will be 4 pickleball courts. It's a little tight. Just surface space is limited. But in the council meeting this past week, we did approve repairing all the courts, all the cracks. We awarded that contract to HD Sarter. It's an asphalt company, so they're going to bore out all the cracks and then fill that in. We're in the process of figuring out surfacing and colors. So we did talk about colors and all that. But first things first, they are going to be doing that out. They should be doing that within the next 30 days. So at least the repairs will be done soon to both the tennis courts and the blacktops. They're still working on the measurements for this and things, but council did agree that if we're going to do this, we might as well do it well. So we are going to replace all the fencing in the park, which does give us a little bit of leeway on sliding the hockey rink over a couple feet closer to the parking lot. So maybe those numbers on the pickleball will be a little bit wider. We will not be to regulation on these sides.
Yeah, it's 2 feet on the sides there.
Yeah.
People can run into the fence.
Yeah. So that's where I'm hoping that we can slide that over a few feet and give us at least a little more cushion on those sides.
Maybe make it the rink smaller.
Because
the rink's not
work on that project. So that's where we're at.
Regulation.
The other option would be to tighten up in between the courts, but to give us a little more space on the sides.
What is regulation on the sides? Do you know?
6 feet?
6 yeah, 6 feet. So we're 3 on one, 2 on the other.
you said,
That is extremely tight.
That's the tennis.
Lori thought the same.
Now, if we went to, say, 8 feet between, or 2 feet between, 8 or 9 feet even between the two, but then add a little bit to those sides and things like that, so. I know they're gonna be meeting with Andy in the park to talk through some things and work through that, and, yeah,
And the tennis courts are going to be repaired and
resurfaced.
That'd be awesome.
We're going with traditional colors, keeping it basic. There wasn't a ton of options. The only color that was really out there was the purple, which would have been something, but,
Timing on doing all this?
well, the crack repair should be done within the next 30 days.
yeah, and that's
After that, we'll then determine the resurfacing. He's got to go out and get quotes still for that part. So that's the next step. And then fencing will come in that too.
Sometimes there's a bunch of
But yeah, so it's good. The initial is at least soon. And then what we're going to do is take one of the hoops at least that we're pulling from the pickleball section and putting that in that little corner area by the roller hockey or the hockey rink, and then right there, because that's just an empty space. And putting one there so somebody can just take jumpers.
just my shoe.
Hoops, if there's games going on and things like that. Because we've got the hoops, why not use them? And the reason why we can't really add asphalt is if you add asphalt, you've got to go out 9 feet beyond your edge and base it. So that's kind of why that's not happening. Because otherwise, yeah, why not just add 6 feet and problem solved? But, and then you've also got to bring in an asphalt. Well, you got to bring in an asphalt vehicle that can lay it down like that, and that's the big problem. And those suckers are wide. They're 9 feet wide, so that's really the problem. More than the base even. But, yeah. So we're still working on it a little bit, but this is the general plan.
Love it. Great job.
If they're concerned about regulation for pickleball, what if they turned them on the sides and did
Did three? Yeah, I was
instead of
thinking
four?
That was a possibility, but I think it was, again, we'd still be running into the same issues with width.
I don't think they had enough length room,
They did
wasn't that
not. I
part?
think that if you went that way, you would be short on the back ends. Was the
Oh, yeah,
issue again.
that's probably
And
worse.
so it was that, or, because I was given 3 options, this was one, another one was just 2 in the pickleball section and then 2 painted in hockey, and I did not want that at all. That just, we already have a dedicated people playing hockey. There's not a lot of rinks around the area, so I didn't really want to mess with that, because it's pretty unique, it's not as common. And then the other option was to take out one of the other full courts of basketball to add pickleball, but we already get a good amount of use on those courts. So this was trying to do as well as we could with what we got.
So this is just still in the planning stages for,
Well, the repairs are for sure, quotes are being pursued, but they are doing some modifications, I think, a little bit to the measuring and things.
And what exactly are they going to do to the tennis courts?
Resurface, fill in the cracks, the same way they're refilling the cracks in the blacktop, and then adding sports surface. So plexi-pave is the general kind of thing, and then that'll be the classic tennis court colors. And hopefully, once all this is done, we'll have courts that stay crack-free for several years. And the only thing we'll have to replace are nets and things like that.
so the fencing is only going to be here that we're redoing, correct?
Well, the fencing around the blacktop will be all new. We're
Oh,
going
okay.
to lower the fencing around the basketball courts because it's 10 feet high right now. Seems a little unnecessary. I recommended that we put a little bit higher fencing between the rink and the pickleball so that balls aren't flying around and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so. Yeah, the council kind of said if we're going to do it, why not do it nicely, rather than trying to reuse things. And like the initial thought was to not pull the fencing, even though some of the cracks do run underneath it, and then leave a section of crack. And that just, I mean, and that was like, okay, we could go that budgety way and save some money, but then you feel like something might happen. It just doesn't look as good.
So this is going to get new asphalt, or the cracks are going to get filled?
Cracks are going to get filled, and then it's going to get new surface,
Oh,
new sports
surface, okay,
surface.
yeah.
It's going to all of them.
So,
In the tennis court?
It's not so much filling in the cracks, it's boring them out and then adding a layer. So you're gonna have 2 new seams, but hopefully, because those seams are new and solid and the base is good, and then the new surfacing, if you maintain that, it should help prevent any water from penetrating, because that's what's the biggest danger with a crack, because once water gets into it, it just, especially in Michigan with our constant freezing and thawing, just annihilates them. So yeah,
Super exciting.
and that should be done this year.
The BMX track,
I got it from there.
there's been no plans drawn.
Well, the plans that we've received and we talked about, beyond that, we have, but I think they were focused more on the courts, the engineers, because they were putting a lot of time into that, so.
Liaison reports, planning commissioner.
Yeah, we did have a May meeting. 2 main topics we covered. We started a discussion on potentially changing the zoning for the property on South Commerce at Decker to a mixed use, mostly to give the owner more options in the process of trying to sell the property. And if we were to do it for that property, we would also do the medical offices to the west of it, so we don't have spot zoning, so we'd have both those properties. If we end up going this route, we're still in the preliminary discussions on it to go to mixed use. It's a fairly involved process. We need to update our land use map and our master plan. We need to send that out for review from the adjacent communities and things like that. So it's early stages, but we're moving forward slowly on that. And then we had some proposed ordinance changes to some of the setback language, especially the front and back yards and lakefront yards. The ordinance officer's been having some issues in interpreting it, so we just made the language much more clear on the setback, so it's a lot easier for them to measure and tell if things are in compliance or not. And that'll require a public hearing. We're going to have at our next planning commission meeting. So far, there's no meeting scheduled for June, so that may go to July. Then once we've had our public hearing, we'll send it to council and recommend approval of the new language on setbacks. So that's pretty much it for planning.
Council Mark?
We appointed Matthew Ramey to the Water Management Board. We, onwards and upwards, announced its scholarship winners, Danny Sheehan and Grace Van Schoten. Each got $2,000. The Danny Leda Scholarship and the Mike Conduct Scholarship. We got an update on of course, as you guys might be aware, the road paving project's going on and progressing. It should be done. Well, I don't know how the rain may have slowed things down, but there's talks of them doing the second round of paving tomorrow. So that's progressing. No. This section, this first half gets done before the end of June, for sure. And then they will start the other portion of the project after Tiki Night and all that. And then, as I mentioned, we awarded the repairs to the courts to HG Sarter. We approved the budget for 24-25 and did all those motions that we always do every year for those things. Did some more just general renewals of contracts with the county and the government and things like that. We renewed we bought for life the data plans for the message boards, the electric boards. So, we figured the one over here, I'm looking at, it's pretty much brand new now.
Yeah.
So we might as well just get the life plan. It made financial sense. They were like $800 each, so for life.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, versus $500 for 5 years or something. So it made a lot of sense to go that way. We're going to continue to support the Lakes Area Youth Assistance. We officially approved the contract for our incoming police chief. For our non-union employees, we approved compensation for the new year, and for our administrator clerk, we set tiki candle pricing at $5. So if you guys need tiki candles, that's what you'll be paying. And then we did approve the garbage transfer, bless you, from GFL to Priority Waste. So that will be happening in July. our administrator was disappointed in how that was handled by GFL, but we did not get notice. We found out from other municipalities and social media. So that was frustrating, but that's happening regardless. So, yeah. And then, we did end up approving the purchase of a new Dodge Charger. Because we'd approved the purchase, or we were going to approve later this year approval of a Durango, because they were having, prices of vehicles have shot up. They got some random mail, literally some random mail that they thought was junk, but they decided to open it up because it said something funny about Chief Ellsworth being police chief of
Schoolcraft.
Yeah, Schoolcraft. So they opened it up, and it was a thing about, hey, we got like a dozen Dodge Chargers over at LaFontaine, police level. And they're like, oh, well, let's check this out. And they called, and sure enough, it's true. And we are significant savings by getting the Dodge Charger. We have several officers who prefer the sedans for mobility and maneuverability and things like that. So we're talking all in all about 13, 15 grand in savings from buying a Durango or something like that, or anything. I mean, the Chevys are even more expensive. So these are still expensive cars once you put all the police stuff on them, but big savings. So we went ahead and approved that late in the meeting when we found out how good of a deal it was. So, yeah. And that was about it. Oh, this will probably be our last meeting with this table. Castile's coming in soon to replace it with something nicer. It doesn't shake as much. So yeah, that was about it.
I do have a question, because I think we brought it up one time. Down there at the end of Glengarry, Oakland County's putting in
The culvert? Yeah, you
Is
saw the
that
giant
is
thing.
it being done soon, or?
So, yeah, that's a good question, because Dave said the same thing. He contacted them. The person who would schedule is out of town, so technically they don't know, but he said he wanted to make sure again that this is not happening till after Tiki Night, because that road cannot be closed for Tiki Night. That would be a nightmare of nightmares. So he suspects that that won't be based on the fact that the scheduler isn't even in, and it's not on the schedule currently. He said that they were like, once this guy gets back in, you'll be their first call and all that kind of thing. But yeah, it was a little jarring all day. One day, there's a 30, 40-foot piece of, it's like, you kind of want to like take that to the park and let the kids run down there and stuff like that, and use it for paintball or something.
I can't remember one of the meetings they talked about, originally it was going to take quite a while.
Yeah.
Now they're doing it different. What are they talking about, close, what, a week or two?
Yeah, it should be a lot faster. It's a different method of replacement. This is more of just a swap. The current one is in terrible condition, is breaking down, the metals eroding. That's why there's little sinkholes and stuff developing over there. They keep repairing, and that's why this is going in. But apparently Eagle, I think it was Eagle, approved that Oakland County could do it as a work project rather than a full contracted out project. So rather than having to go deeper, and the big problem is there's a bunch of utilities under there, so rather than having to dig deeper, which would have meant moving the utilities, they're able to now just do a straight up swap of the culvert material, and that should really speed up the process while also addressing the major concerns of it breaking down. So yeah.
Commerce Park and Rec, Laura couldn't be here, and she just wanted me to, let everyone know that the Commerce Concert Series is starting July 5th, and that they had several events coming up. They have Sound Station on the 5th of July, Magic Bus on July 12th, Power Play Detroit on July 19th, Steve King and the Dillies, maybe, on July 26th, and August 2nd is the Sunset Boulevard. And each one has a food truck. There'll be face painters and kids' activities.
It's at Richardson?
Yeah, it's at Richardson, yes, sorry. Comments from board members?
See you guys tomorrow.
We adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.